Hello and welcome to another session of I Do Really. I am Nina Jones here to talk to you today about adversity in a relationship. Now, I know a lot of times when couples are, when people are coming together, they don't really have any problems right now. Everything's sweet, you're getting along, you don't live together yet. A lot of times, once people start living together, they're going to experience sometimes a little adversity. Maybe they don't like all the things that like the way you cook. Maybe you're used to yellow cornbread, they're used to white cornbread, so you got to make adjustments. But one thing you're going to really have to do in relationships, which in talking to a lot of people and just experiencing different things, sometimes it's good to challenge a person when it comes down to like different things that y'all really need to talk about. When you have to deal with certain issues that involves the relationship, you have to deal with them. You have to, instead of just arguing and fussing and fighting about it, you're going to have to learn how to talk about it. Yes, it may hurt. And if a person tells you maybe how they feel about something, don't get upset about it, because this is just how this person feels. You don't want to just hang up on folks and not deal with it, just shut down and everything like that, because you never know what's going in that person's mind, what they're going through, this and that. You have to talk things over. And especially me watching a lot of different movies, you got to look at the realness of situations. Like I remember watching about Meet the Browns with Tyler Perry. Meet the Browns, the play Meet the Browns. And the man was saying, the reason why he had an affair on his wife. Well, it was because she was arguing. And, he just didn't want to hear it. And because he didn't want to hear it, the way he got to handle it, he just leaves the house and just goes sit out somewhere. And when you do stuff like that, that opens you up to possibly having an affair. You left home with tension in the air. And now you're going to meet somebody that's going to take that tension and release it off of you. And that's a lot of times you have an affair. Okay, so in order to, cut out the possibilities of having an affair, you're going to have to, okay, I know you're upset and I'm upset too. But we're going to have to get a leveling plane so that we can talk. So that we can continue with our relationship. Because a lot of people, everything look good on the outside, but a lot of times you never know what people are actually facing in their relationship. Because a lot of people are not going to walk around with a frown on their face. They're not going to walk around mad all the time. They're going to walk around like everything is fine until they probably get in the car or until they get home. And then they're going to do whatever they got to do at home and having to deal with this situation. But we're going to keep our problems on the inside of the house instead of taking it outside. Okay? So one thing, this right here, it may be really short, but this right here is about whenever you have adversity or tension in a relationship, you're going to have to learn how to deal with it. Maybe you learn how to deal with it by possibly just shutting down. Okay, you cannot shut down on every situation, because you may shut down on a situation and end up finding out your spouse is having an affair somewhere. Why? Because they need to talk to you. Look, I need you to talk to me. Okay? But you won't talk because you're so used to shutting down. And that's what you don't want to do. You want to make sure, if you have to take a time out, say, you know what? You're mad, I'm mad. How about we give it about 30 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever time you want to take, but we don't need to go to bed with this tension in the air. Let's take about 15 minutes, get ourselves settled down, take a yen moment, and come back and call back each other again, and let's talk about this. Then on top of that, you never want to say something out of frustration that you'll regret later. Don't talk frustration and then you saying stuff that you really don't mean, but you just saying this because you frustrated. Whenever you want to utter anything out your mouth, you want to make sure you are clear in your head about what you are about to say. Because maybe the person will take up on what you have to say. Okay, since that's how you feel about it, I know you don't mean that, but since that's how you feel about it, maybe I'll just do that. And then you get a problem on top of a problem on top of everything, and then it just escalates. You know what I'm saying? So in order to avoid a lot of bad things that could happen in a relationship, learn how to take a time out and handle situations that day. Don't let it just go all overnight, all day, all 2-3 days and went by. Y'all ain't saying nothing to each other. Don't do stuff like that, because you never know. Because it's like this. How can you do better in this relationship? How can you do better? Sometimes, because a lot of times people be looking to get into a different relationship. But if you're looking to get into another relationship, I'm just saying, how are you going to do well in that one when you're not even settling the one that you even have right now? You have to learn certain situations help you to learn, or they prepare you for another. Just like I was talking to a girlfriend of mine, and she was talking about the guy that she has met now. Well, the guy that she met previously actually prepared her for the guy that she just met. You know, so it's like, okay. So, I mean, you just gotta think about it. Okay, so if I was in a different relationship, how would I want that relationship to go? Do I want it to be rocky like this one? Well, if I don't want that one to be rocky, because just in case this one do end, I don't want to end on a bad note. I don't want to end up on a bad note, but if we're going to end, what can I do to make things better, even though it's about to end, whatever the case may be. But you want to do stuff to prepare yourself for the next. Learn how to handle stuff. You know, I think about, and I'm going to use myself for just this instance. I think about, you know, when I was just dating, when I was just having boyfriends, you know, and everything like that. Whenever we had a problem, I was like, shit, I ain't got to deal with this. And then I'm gone. Why? Because you ain't got no papers on me. I don't have to stay. I don't have to stay here. I don't have to deal with it. Why? Because we're not married. But once we have legal documentations on each other, once we have legal documents, we have an agreement. We have a legal agreement with each other. I can't just say, okay, when I'm mad at you, when we're upset, okay, you know what? Well, forget you. I'm going to mama's house and get me somebody else. No, it's not. It's a process to go through. So what you want to learn how to do, if there's adversity, you want to learn how to take a moment, clear your head, take a time out, come back and talk later. Okay? Don't let stuff just, especially when you have situations in your relationship, it's like a pot of water on the stove with some heat on it. Okay, after a while, that pot is heating. Before you know it, that pot is going to start simmering. The water in that pot going to start simmering. Before you know it, it's a rolling boil. Okay, and a lot of steam coming out. So in order to keep it with calm waters, you're going to have to learn when there is tension, when there is hostility, when there is irritation going on, you're going to have to learn how to deal with it. Because if you don't, you're going to always have a problem. You're going to be always mad, always upset, always got stuff going on. And before you know it, you know what? Y'all just going to need some counseling. That's going to be about your best bet. You're gonna need some counseling. Because why? Because you're not handling. You got to recognize you're not handling this right. So once you recognize you're not handling this right, and if you two can't handle it, then you need to get a third party in there to help you guys to level out and be what you need to be. Okay? Remember, learn how to deal with adversity in a relationship.